that's a good picture, actually. I was trying to think about what I could talk about, and then an idea came into my mind. And you know what I'd really like to talk about? By the way, the Omicron top is so good. And yes, I did grind for hours just for this. Just to put it on my Reaper. And I'll probably never take it off. You have no idea how hard those shafts are to get, because everyone's after this top, I think. But anyways, I think I would like to talk about the things I've learned as a failed YouTuber. And this isn't like a go from 1 to 1,000 subscribers in a day. But if my mistakes can help you in your YouTube channel, then I would call it a success. But do not put your hopes up. Like, I don't want to give you false hope. Because I've been grinding for years, and I've just recently seen views over 50 and views over 100. And even then, keeping up that momentum's really hard. But I would like to set apart a video where I just run around and talk about the things I've learned and the things I've discovered through trial and error. Results may vary. Results probably won't vary. Oh, he's doing what I did. He's G-posing up there. The first thing I've learned is the best way to learn is just by trial and error. Those guys like, when I first started, I couldn't get any momentum to save my life. And so I watched a lot of, how to grow your channel YouTubes. And honestly, stop watching them. Unsubscribe to them. Because they're not gonna help that much. Maybe if you have like momentum and you need help keeping the momentum, then yeah. But the stuff they tell you really doesn't help anyone. They tell you, make sure you have a good mic, make sure you have good lighting, all that other stuff. But if no one's watching your videos, then good lighting, a 4K camera, and a studio mic isn't gonna help you. If you're putting out boring content or bad content and you can't get 3 views, then don't worry about your lighting yet. Focus on what is entertaining. The things they don't tell you, like they tell you about lighting and mic and all that other stuff. But I wish they would tell you things like how YouTube is owned by Google. And so you want your title of your video to be something Googleable. Like if you watch AEW, their YouTube videos are in forms of a question. Just because when you Google it, like who won AEW last night, then their YouTube video pops up. And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure your clickbait is Googleable, something searchable. Another thing they don't tell you a lot about is it's all about luck. Luck and relevancy. When I first started a long time ago, I really loved Overwatch. And I'm like, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel in Overwatch. Well, the problem was Overwatch was 2 years old. It already had an established community around it. And so trying to break into a 2-year-old game, it's not impossible, but it would be extremely hard. it's something where you gotta strike while the iron's hot. Like Final Fantasy this year. Final Fantasy blew up this year. And this is the first time where I've ever had like 3 videos over 100 views in succession of each other. You gotta keep your eye out on what's trending and what's hopping in the gaming world. Like becoming a Fortnite YouTuber right now probably would be really hard just because it's so overpopulated, oversaturated. And on the other side of the coin, becoming like a Diablo 3 player right now because that game's pretty much dead. Or Overwatch player because that game's pretty much dead. I got really lucky with Final Fantasy because before the wave, I reviewed A Realm Reborn. Do not go back and watch it because I destroyed it. And it only pulled in like 8 views. And then I went back to Final Fantasy after the wave, and I was pulling in lots of views. So, strike while the iron's hot. Get lucky. Get really lucky. Another thing that's hard is YouTube will push ads to the front. So if you are monetized, you'll have an easier time getting into the algorithm front page because YouTube will push the ads. It's a never-ending cycle because to get into the algorithm, you need ads. In order to get ads, you need views. And in order to get views, you need the algorithm to kind of help you out. So that's something I've learned the hard way. Something I've also learned is what are you going to add to your game? The game that you love. This is another thing I struggle with too, because I'm not the best with end game content. So I usually do opinion pieces, like I quit Destiny for Final Fantasy, or Final Fantasy player tries WoW. Things like that. So that's something you gotta consider too, is how am I gonna contribute? Because I don't contribute much, I just run around cities and talk. I don't get a lot of comments, so I can't really comment on it. Lol. I did not do that on purpose. I wouldn't worry about dislikes too much, honestly. As long as people are interacting with your videos, I think you're okay. I think my last piece of advice, and by the way, I've never had a video over 1,000 views within a week, right? I have one that's sitting at 5,000, but it's almost a year old at this point. I think it's older than a year old. It's almost 2 years old. It's an old PSO video I did. But it's all about that momentum. If you have 3 videos that do good, don't sit on it like I did. I had a lot of PSO momentum, and then I just kind of gave up the ghost or something. I don't remember what I did. I went to Destiny or something. And I lost a lot of momentum. I'm kind of thankful because I burnt out on PSO. PSO didn't hold my interest for more than 8 months. But if you're doing good on the views, keep going. Don't sit on it. And I understand life always comes first, right? Do not gamble your life on a if career. But you are allowed to daydream. That being said, there's nothing wrong with being a hobbyist YouTuber either. I consider myself a hobbyist YouTuber. I don't think this channel will ever see more than 300 subscribers. But I have fun with it, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Do you enjoy making YouTube videos? Do you enjoy editing? Do you enjoy... At this point, my YouTube channel is just a point where I can vent, talk about things, talk about video games no one wants to listen to about. It's just a nice way to escape, is how I see it. Someday I hope that my YouTube channel gets noticed, but honestly, I just enjoy it as a hobby. And I think that's what the most important thing is do it because you want to. Don't do it because you want to make a career out of it or anything. That's how I started. And it's absolutely miserable when you wake up to 0 views the next day. But when you do it as like a hobby, and you wake up to like 0 views, you're like, oh, well. Think about it as like a game, right? How many views can you get? And can you break your high score? If views are 1 point, likes are 3 points, and then subscribers are 5 points, can your next video beat the high score? Keep that in mind. Okay, so I've said my piece. And remember, I've never seen YouTube success. But if my failures can help you, then I would consider this a good video. I'll get back to Final Fantasy content. I just don't know what to do right now. I gotta think about things. Alright. Well. Artifact out.